I really hadn't planned on doing a complete sharpening, but I really should. What I'm doing now, I'm still doing my edge leading. I started it. I'm looking at it. I'm seeing that I have places where the burr is still there. That's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to look for thoroughness because I'm working with wicked edge. The duality, both sides, balancing the edge. Sometimes you have to work a little harder to get it to come together. It's easier to concentrate working one side, but that doesn't blend it. And you're chasing back and forth. So I'm working and I'm finding the places where I had left the burr and other places where it's real good as I'm blending it, refining it. Now I want to talk about the stroke direction. Besides being down and on, you're also moving longitudinally across the knife. So within each stroke direction, you're moving that contact patch across the knife, and the direction of that scratch pattern is at your discretion. And you can learn how to use the direction any way you want. Again, I'll keep saying that's the art of sharpening. If you work in line with the guide rods, then you're always going to be putting that scratch on top of itself. But you still have to move it forward. You're staying in line, but you're still walking it forward. And I'm still making, for the beginner, I am making full flat contact, making sure it doesn't rock, that it's full flat against there, and pulling down at a deliberate force, pressure, whether it be light or medium, what I choose to use at the time. But it's a full flat contact, and the other side behind it is the same, with an intention, a direction, and a direction across the steel. And then I walk forward and do it again the same way so as to try to replicate everything and spread it. And at the same time, I'm blending it. And then I go back and I look again, and I'm following on the guide rods as I walk them forward. And yes, by following on the guide rods, that slope is going to rotate. That curve of the scratch pattern is going to rotate. But for sharpening a knife, that's okay. We're doing the physical stuff to make the edge right. If you want to finish it differently and go longitudinally, sharpen your knife differently, I'm trying to share the utilities of what the physically abrading and smoothing of the edge to work with the wicked edge guided system within the guide rods, and to tell you the alternatives. Then you can, if you want to, you can work obliquely and not in this direction. And if you work obliquely, your scratch patterns will go obliquely. I'm trying to tell you there are different things you do in different scratch patterns and how you can do them. I don't care what you do. We're just trying to make those points all line up to make that flat plane of the bevel so they come together keen. If you want to do it this way, I don't care. You learn what you like and then put that together into your sharpening routine. This scrubbing gets it done. And I have a purpose for why I do it with the direction of the scratch pattern and all that I'm sharing with you. But in the meantime, I'm finding the places where it's nice and sharp and it still needs, and I will continue to scope it. But I want you to understand that it's function. Using the jig to hold it so that I can make the full flat pattern to move the stone across. I don't care which direction you go, but if you're not making full flat contact with that fixed angle against that bevel, whether you go up, down, or sideways, then you're missing the point, because that's what it's all about. And we did all the profiling and all that to find that place to give us that full flat purchase. And everything we did, we snuck up to it to this point that we're sharpening the knife. So we need to take advantage always and use the full flat contact. Now, whether you use that quickly or that way or this way or however you want, as long as you make full flat contact first and follow through with what you're doing with that same purchase so that it's not rotating, then you'll be effective working with the jig. That's what this thing is all about. It's the holder so we can sharpen the knives working within the angle constraints and stability it puts on us. Thanks.